Good, beautiful morning. It is Saturday, September the 24th, 2022, and I want to welcome you to the Saturday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul, where we do our discussion and meditation, which is a form of medication practice for the soul. Meditation is medication for your soul. I have with me the energy of Archangel Michael today, and I'm going to place a set of instructions upon the screen so that you that are arriving here, or if you are here already, you can simply follow these instructions. For those of you that are on TikTok or Facebook, if you cannot see the question underneath, the statement underneath is to breathe slowly and deeply. So breathe slowly and deeply and give your body permission to relax as you exhale. And breathe slowly and deeply and give your thoughts permission to be still as you exhale. Every time you take a breath, when you exhale, allow the muscles in your body to relax. Give the thoughts in your mind permission to be still. You do that on the exhale because the body's already hardwired so that when you exhale, it automatically relaxes. So the body's hardwired so that when you exhale, it's going to release tension from your body. And it's going to be really important today for this meditation on gaining authority over your mind. It's very important. The challenge that most people are facing on this physical dimension today is not so much what's going on in the body, but what is going on in the mind. Once the mind is brought into a place where it is not running on its own and you are able to think without thoughts interfering with your thinking, then you can begin to choose thoughts and ideas that will be more beneficial for your mind and your body and what you do. Much of what you think, say, and do is not something that you have chosen. Most of what you think, say, and do was given to you to think, say, and do. Your entire educational system loans itself to simply receiving information and simply memorizing it and following it out. Very little independent thinking is taught in your educational systems around this world. It becomes very important then to learn how to operate your own mind rather than depending upon the external agencies and systems to run it for you, as that is not leading to much good for many of you. Many of you suffer knowing full well that there's an aspect of you that is capable of creating independent of all the thoughts and information the world is giving you. You have access to a quantum level of information that will permit you to create what you came here to create as a conscious individual, a soul, a spirit of universal light. Now, those instructions on the screen, while you're listening to us communicate to you, follow those instructions. That is, breathe slowly and deeply. And as you exhale, give the muscles in your body permission to relax. As we go through this introductory part of the process, and then we'll go as you bring yourself to this state where your body and mind are open and receptive to your awareness, because we always emphasize that you want your mind and body to be open and receptive to your awareness first before you open your mind and body to the information and suggestions of others. You want to train your mind and body to listen to you first, not get caught up in what other people tell you what you should think, say, believe, or do. Getting your mind and body into this place where it is open and receptive to your awareness offers you the opportunity to begin to place in or restructure, edit, subtract, or delete information from your mind that does not serve you, and put into your mind information, ideas, and beliefs that will serve you in your process of creation in this physical dimension. There are many of us that are present with you, hoping that your ears will open and hoping that your eyes will see. But in order to do this, it's important that you have ears and eyes that obey you, that listen to you first and foremost, that you can authorize to be open and receptive to your awareness. Now, the greatest challenge facing many of you is that you cannot distinguish between your thoughts, your emotions, and who you are as a spiritual consciousness. And the goal of this short meditative process, again, follow the instructions on the screen. That is to breathe slowly and deeply, fill your lungs completely, release the air from your body. And as you do, give the muscles in your body permission to relax as you exhale, so that with each subsequent exhale, you're allowing your muscles to relax more and more. And at the same time, as you exhale, allow the thoughts in your mind to become still, quiet, and peaceful. Always on the exhale, you'll discover that on the exhale, it is the easiest to release tension from your body and thoughts from your mind. In that process, you begin to awaken to what you are as an awareness that is separate and distinct from the thoughts in your mind and the sensations in your body. From this perspective of awareness that you cultivate, again, continue the breathing process as we carry this discussion forward, so that you gain an awareness of what we're saying while we are saying it, so that you understand it from the experience of the body that you're in, and not simply from the words that we're communicating to you, which is why we request that you go through this process of deliberate breathing, giving the muscles in your body permission to relax with your exhale, giving the thoughts in your mind permission to be still on the exhale, so that each exhale you're allowing your mind, you're allowing that body to relax. And as you do that, it becomes open and receptive to your awareness. In that place where the body begins to release its tension, it goes into a condition that you might know as sleep. It can go into a sleep resembling condition, so that the body is completely relaxed. Tensions are gone, and it is open, relaxed, and receptive to you. In that place of open receptivity, you can then move your attention to the mind, where you begin to direct your mind likewise to be still, to allow the thoughts, to allow the memories, to allow the emotions to be still, to be quiet, to be open, to be receptive, so that you are awakening. So now you begin to experience the body relaxing, and you begin to experience the mind under your direction becoming quieter and more peaceful. Even intense, unexpected emotions, if they arise, you can use the breath in the exact same fashion with your emotions as you do with your muscles or your thoughts. That is, you breathe deeply and you give that emotion permission to be still, to be quiet, to be peaceful. On the exhale, it is on the exhale we're going to find the releasing of emotion, the releasing of thought, the releasing of tension in the body is most effective on the exhale. So that with each subsequent breath, as the body and the mental systems begin to subside into silence and stillness, you begin to awaken. You may even feel such symptoms as your body start to vibrate. The energy in your body, when it has no resistance, begins to vibrate differently than when you have all of those thoughts and tensions in the body. The energy begins to flow. During your normal sleep cycles for that body, it goes into a repairing and rebuilding and reconstruction process. In this methodology of breathing, you actually train the body into that process as a deliberate function of your consciousness, of your awareness, directing your body, directing the thoughts to be still, to be quiet, to be open and receptive to you. It is so important that you gain these first few simple steps as functions of your consciousness, where you're able to direct your body as an act of your will and not a function of other people's direction. That you're able to stimulate your mind into a place of vibration, of silence, as a function of your consciousness, your will, so that you gain the experience that you are not subjective to your mind and you are not subjective to your body. You are the consciousness that is able to assert an authority over your mind and body from a perspective of awareness that allows you to selectively and consciously and deliberately choose thoughts, ideas that will be more conducive to generating emotional energies that will support your creative process in this dimension from a platform of a vibration called love, of joy, of curiosity, of playfulness, instead of the vibrations of fear and uncertainty that is often being perpetuated into your minds from the many mechanisms of communication you've cultivated over the last 122 years. These mechanisms of communication loan themselves to either lifting you up or bringing you down. And unfortunately, the process of mass manipulation has resulted in many of you being stimulated into vibrational states of fear and uncertainty and anxiousness and depression, because your body is not designed to sustain an accelerated state of emotion such as fear. It goes into a state of helplessness if it is in a fear state for too long a period of time. But in this process of slowly, deeply breathing, giving your body permission to relax as you exhale, and giving your thoughts permission to be still as you exhale. With each subsequent application of the breath in this fashion, you begin to feel calmer, quieter, more peaceful in the structure of the body and in the realm of the astral conception of the mind, where it begins to become still and quiet. Now the energies of the mind and the energies of the body become open and receptive to your awareness, and you can then begin to consider new possibilities from the process of creation. If you are just arriving here, simply follow the instructions that are upon the screen here to breathe slowly and deeply, and as you exhale, release the tension from your body. And with each breath, as you exhale, deliberately giving your body, all the muscles in your body, from your face to the neck to the shoulders, you're giving all the muscles in your body permission as you exhale to relax fully and completely with each breath. Likewise, any thoughts or emotions that come to your mind, simply use your breath and breathe in. And as you exhale, give permission to the thoughts to be still. Give them permission as you exhale to be still, to be quiet, to be peaceful. Any emotions that you perceive, again, use the breath in the same fashion. As you inhale and on the exhale, give the emotions permission to be still for a little while. The resulting effect is that mind, body, and energy surrender themselves to your direction. For in the direction of giving them permission to relax and be open and receptive to your awareness, there is a great liberation of tension, a great liberation from distraction of the thoughts and the memories and the emotions that often dominate many of your minds. But in this process of teaching your mind and teaching your body and teaching your energy, your emotions, to be still and quiet by utilizing the function of the body's breath, you begin to gain an awareness that you can operate your mind, you can operate your body, you can operate your energy as a function of your will, your consciousness, your soul, if you like, your awareness. You begin to assert a very deliberate and conscious authority over the instrument that you currently utilize in this physical dimension of experience, which is but one of many dimensional realms that you can experience. But you cannot go on to other realms until you are safely able to function in this one. The process of teaching your mind to be still, to be quiet, to be open and receptive, the process of teaching your body to be completely relaxed, open and receptive to your awareness, the process of teaching your mind and body this loans itself to a conditional state of consciousness that we call freedom, where you are no longer subjective to memories, you're no longer subjective to emotion, you're no longer subjective to the external conditioning of the environment, as each aspect of your body and each aspect of your mind have their own unique functions in this physical dimension. The body is a mechanism that simply responds and reacts based on the pre-instructed conditions stored within its system from the experiential existence from the very first moment that a cell was conceived in this dimension to the full-blown multi-trillion celled organism that you find yourself in right now. The condition of the body is that it is based on the mechanisms of fight or flight, pleasure or pain. That is its only means for dealing with the environment. And so many of you find yourself subjective to its existence and its historical paradigm. But in this process of teaching it to be relaxed as a function of your will, where you're directing your body to completely be open and receptive to, allowing all the muscles in your body to fully and completely release, relax, and let go as you exhale. Your body begins to surrender its pleasure, pain, fight, or flight mechanism to you. You train your body to listen to you, much the same way as you would train a dog to follow your instructions, or a horse to follow your instructions, or a lion to follow your instructions. You teach your body, much like an animal, to follow your instructions, and you do so lovingly. You do so gently. You do so kindly and compassionately. And the function and mechanism of your breath will loan itself to that result for your body, in that as you breathe slowly and deeply, and you give the muscles permission to relax on the exhale, the body surrenders itself, for the body does not naturally like too much tension. It likes to be in a state of open receptivity to you. As you gain greater awareness of the effect of training your body to be open and receptive to you, you would not need to stay in this state all of the time, but you will have the benefit then of being able to restore your body in a single breath to a state of deep relaxation and open receptivity to your awareness. Your existing educational systems understand this process, which is why they have you sit in chairs in one place, so there's no activity, so that what they tell you and what they suggest to you goes very easily into your body and your mind. And even though some of you want to get out of those chairs, they say, no, you stay in those chairs. They condition you to stay in a condition of learning that may or may not be conducive to your spiritual evolution. It is certainly conducive to a level of authority and control that has left many of you feeling disconnected and uncomfortable with the true nature of who you are and what you came here to do as a spiritual entity, to learn the function of creation. That is your function here, to learn creation, not to simply be a body struggling with an environment, or a mind confused, or emotions distracted, but a body-mind system that is clear, focused in the present moment, and through which you can execute a creative process, whether you wish to be an artist, or an architect, or a leader, or a mother, or a father, whatever you would desire to express creatively. When your mind and body are trained to yield themselves to you, you can then begin to consider what function that you as an awareness would choose to express in this world, and not simply accept what others have told you that they think you should be. You did not come here to be what others think you should be. You came here to be as you are, and to come to that understanding to be as what you are. You must understand the autonomy and authority that you have over your own mind and your own body, which you had when you first came into this physical dimension as a young child. You had great autonomy to a large extent, but then rules and information began to be constructed in your mind by the environment that placed certain barriers between yourself and yourself, that caused you to become subjective to your body, subjective to your thoughts, subjective to the emotions that those thoughts generate, because many of the thoughts that you have in your mind are not even yours. Many of the thoughts in your mind are not even yours. They do not loan themselves to what is true for you. And there are many in this world that will try to give you their version of thinking and believing, and yet within you is the capacity to generate thoughts and ideas that will fully allow you to articulate your true nature as an expression through a physical medium. As you breathe slowly and deeply and gain the experience of the body relaxing and being open and receptive to you, there's a vibration of peace that begins to emerge. And that vibration of peace is emerging because your body is experiencing your autonomy and your authority directing it to be relaxed. And there is an experience of peace also in the mind, for as you exhale and give thought permission to be still, as you exhale, you give your thoughts permission to be still, to be quiet, to be open and receptive. As you give your thoughts that permission, also a greater peace begins to emerge. And you, as awareness, begin to become aware that you are aware, independent of your thoughts, independent of the body, but needing both in order to function creatively in this physical dimension. But at least from the perspective of awareness, recognizing that you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, you're not the body. These are instruments that you have at your disposal as a function of creation. Then the process of learning becomes one of free will and free choice from a very different perspective than the concept of free will or free choice from the information that you've been given to believe from this world exclusively. Awaken yourself in this way. Utilize the process of your breath as the divine instrument that it is, that allows you to train your mind and body into a vibrational state that supports and sustains an environment that's conducive to your soul, to what you are as a divine entity, learning the process and function of creation in a physical dimension. Now, we are saying things in repetition quite frequently because that is the way that the physical brain and body do learn things. They do learn through repetition. This is why your educational system uses it so effectively. It's why many of your business organizations around the world use repetition in their methods of getting you to buy or accept their products. They understand that your brain and your body work through that process. But they do not have to be subjective to the world. This process of your mind and body, learning through repetition, can also come under the domain of your awareness, where you say to the mind and body, you are beautiful, you are light, and I am with you, I will take care of you. You learn to communicate information to your mind and body in a way that's conducive to the vibrational state that you want to create through while in this physical dimension. Or you can accept the vibrational offerings that are given to you from the environment that may or may not be good, that may or may not be conducive to your highest potential expression of yourself. This today is but a beginning step for those of you that are seeking to find amelioration from the confusion that is being offered to you by the world, and the stability that will naturally come from your own soul awakening to what you are. Training your mind and body to be still, to be quiet. You will feel an immediate shift in your energy. You will be aware that you are generating that shift in your own energy of your body. As you begin to become more conscious and more excited, more aware that you are able to truly stimulate this. And for some of you, the degree and amount of the process being applied to you may vary in degree and intensity. That is, some of you that have very strong and powerful negative emotions that you hold in your body from your past may require a little more patience and a little more time. Your body will need you to be more patient and give it more time to teach it this new function of being under your direction. Again, many of you find yourself subjective to the information of this world, and very few of you understand that you are meant to be the environment for that mind and body. But as you teach your mind and you teach your body repeatedly through the process of your breath to be still, to be quiet, to be open and receptive to you, as you teach your emotions to be still, and you teach your mind to be still through your breathing, it may take longer or shorter durations from individual to individual, depending upon the emotional conditions that have been cultivated or developed in your body through the experiential reality of this physical dimension. But the process that we're describing here is universal. And when applied with diligence, patience, care, and kindness, your mind and body will begin to be conditioned by you, and it will surrender the conditioning of the world and restore you to the divine estate of being a soul, a spirit of universal light, working through a astral and material medium of energy and consciousness. That body is not who you are, but it is certainly the instrument that you utilize while functioning in this physical dimension. The thoughts in your mind are not who you are, but constitute the information that was impregnated in this body from the environment that constitutes what you call your personality. But that is not who you are. That is information that you have within the system of your biology. You are awareness that can be aware of your thoughts, that can be aware of your emotions, that can be aware of the body, and learn to coordinate and orchestrate thought, emotion, and matter in the function of deliberate creation in this physical dimension. So if you're reading the screen, breathe slowly and deeply. Learn to teach your mind to be still through the exhale. Teach your body to relax through the exhale. Teach your emotional energy to be still and quiet. And as these processes begin to undergo cultivation in your body, as they begin to be trained into your body by your awareness, you'll begin to feel a shift in your energy. Many of the physical conditions that you might be struggling with can be directly connected to the nature and quality of the emotional energies you are holding on to in your body that are linked to the thoughts in your mind, mostly in your subjective field, your subconscious field that you call it in this world. But that place where you begin to feel your authority causing your body to be still, your mind to be quiet, your emotions also still. There is a feeling of peace, a feeling of freedom, a feeling of calmness, which is what you are. As you gain familiarity with your own ability to direct your mind and your body by your authority, you will open yourself up to informational realms that are beyond what you know in your mind. For there is a quantum level of information that exists all around you from many dimensions, many timelines, but is not available to you if you are restricted to a finite conception of your identity, that is, your individualized personality. If you are bound by believing that is who you are, that is all that you are, that body, those thoughts, those emotions, if that is all of who you are, then it makes it very difficult to open your awareness up to that which is beyond it. But this process of training your body, training your mind, training your energy, which is your emotions, under your direction to be still, quiet, and open and receptive to you, it frees your awareness, your soul, from the confinement to the personality and affords you the opportunity to open up to higher information and inspiration that comes from beyond the physical realm. How do you think human innovation and creation comes into this dimension in the first place? It does not come from this dimension. It comes from a dimension of information that is not here, but can come into the one that is open to receiving it. If you are open and receptive to receiving vibrations of love, of joy, of compassion, of excitement, of playfulness, of inspiration, and you are not bound by those restrictions of your mind which have fear and uncertainty, then you will receive these new inspirations. So in teaching your mind and body to be still, to be quiet, to be open and receptive, you open your awareness up to receive new information beyond the confines of your personality. To that end, all meditation loans itself to liberate you from subjectivity to the mind and the body, while learning how to utilize the mind and body creatively in the function of your soul, that you're able to direct and bring into existence new ideas, new information, new creation into this physical dimension, so that you become familiar with your own function as a creating intelligence that is not simply a mass of flesh and a collection of astral energy in the form of thoughts. You are a soul, a spirit of universal light. And the process of gently, intentionally, lovingly teaching your mind and body to become open and receptive to your awareness loans you to the position where you are able to deliberately and intentionally create a new life for yourself in this dimension that is not bound by the confines that the world has placed upon your mind or upon your body. Many of the things that you think or say or do are not of your own choosing. Much of what you eat, much of what you drink, much of what you do is based on what you've been told to think or believe you should or should not do. You've been fascinated by sounds and smells and touches and tastes and become subjective to many of those things It's time to end that subjectivity so that you might be free to choose what you know is most valuable in contributing to the enlightenment of your body, that you can utilize it creatively, the clarity of your mind, there's no confusion, uncertainty, and thereby open yourself up to greater possibilities in this physical dimension. We encourage you to continue the process of breathing while we communicate so that you understand from your own experience what we are saying, for it is through your own experience that you alone yourself to true understanding and knowledge. As you gain deliberate experience, that you have an authority over your mind, your emotions, and your body, as you gain that experience personally, you move towards intentional freedom from your suffering. When you realize your thoughts are not mostly yours, then you can alter and change them when you understand the process of teaching your mind to be open and receptive to what you would want it to think or what you would want it to believe. And that in turn will generate electrical energies in the form of emotions that will affect your biology and generate very specific behaviors. For all your behaviors are effects of the emotional energy that you harbor in your body. And most of those emotional energies are connected to the thoughts that you've already received from the environment, most of which you didn't choose. But once you begin to differentiate your awareness from the thoughts, once you begin to differentiate your awareness from subjectivity of the body, once you begin to recognize that you can alter and change emotional energy by altering and changing the function of thought in the realm of the astral plane, you'll begin to understand your function creatively is well beyond the scope and capabilities of what you've been taught to believe, strictly from the perspective of being a physical entity, which you are indeed a physical entity, but only this part of you is physical. There's another part of you that is not physical, called the thought realm and the emotional realm. They're not physical, but they interact with this physical dimension. And there's another aspect of yourself called awareness, what we call your soul, that is able to apply itself and interact with the thought realm and the body realm very differently than what you may have been taught. But stay with this simple process of teaching your mind and body and learning by how you interact with your mind and body that you can alter and change its nature and function to various degrees. That the nature of your body will loan itself to your direction as equally as your mind will loan itself to your direction. But first, you must awaken to the understanding that you are the awareness able to direct the body to a different state of being, direct the thoughts into a different sequence of information. But in order to do that, you must experience your authority and autonomy over them. This is the simplest way that we can come to illuminate that process for your consciousness to consider, that the simple function of your breathing loans itself to giving you an authority over mind and matter and energy, which is emotion, than you may have previously believed. Many of you have been struggling with anxiousness and nervousness and depression and these different varied emotional conditions. And they are conditions of energy that are products of certain information stored in the mind that has certain ideas and information or memorized experiences. But in the function of learning to teach your mind and body to be still, to be quiet, open, and receptive to your awareness, you'll gain the knowledge from your experience that allows you to know that you are indeed not subjective anymore to the functions of thought or the automatic responses instinctually of the body, that they will yield themselves to your direction, to your loving direction. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Good morning, everybody. This is a beautiful day. I've got time for a few questions, and then we're going to move on. Again, I've got the energy of Archangel Michael with me, and there's something really exciting happening in human consciousness today. It's already happened. I don't know if you know that, but I've been feeling this feeling the last few days. Something really amazing has happened for us as a species. And I don't know what it is, but I can feel that it's happened. And I hope you're feeling it too. These ascension energies that are coming in are pretty profound. But let's take a look at some questions here. Wonderful. Hi, good morning, Elena. Hi, Joella. Hello, Elena. Hi, Drusilla. Hi, guys. Hello, Adam. Question from Adam. Explain why each mind has a structure, for example, subconscious, unconscious, preconscious, and how these processes are interconnected throughout these mental spheres and why it functions so. The question is far more complex than it needs to be if you simply understand that you are awareness, that you know you have thought, that you know you have thought that you are aware of, and you have thought that you are not aware of, that these interrelating and interacting energies are stepped down by the rate and frequency, the vibrational nature of each frequency. That is, thought functions at a frequency of energy, that when it enters the body, it functions very differently in the structure of the body. The unnecessary complexity to understanding these different elements is a waste of time. It is far more important that you consider what we have said today, in that you are able to deliberately and intentionally alter and effectively change the nature and form of thought in the astral realm of your consciousness, which in turn interacts with and generates an electrical bridge between thought and biology. And that electrical bridge is what is called emotion, that determines the function of the body, how it will react and respond according to the nature of certain thoughts or perceptions. But the function of learning authority over them is far more valuable than understanding the mechanics to these things. Why would you seek to unnecessarily complicate a process that is extremely simple? Breathe. Train yourself to be aware that you can alter the function of your mind, that you can alter the function of your body, that you can awaken to the nature of your awareness as something that is unique and distinct from subjectivity to the mind and body. Become conscious of the simplicity of this. Unnecessary complexity will simply slow you down. Wow. Thank you, Adam. Great question. Question from Kimberly on TikTok. Why can I see and move the energy? Why can't I see and move the energy? That's a really great question, Kimberly. Why can't I see and connect with it? Part of it is because your perceptual awareness is not awakened to it, but you know it's there. That's why you're asking the question. A really simple thing that you can do, Kimberly, is to take your left hand and your right hand and hold them about 12 inches apart like that. And then just close your eyes and feel the space between them. Now bring your hands closer together. Now, of course, your brain is going to identify heat. Your brain will identify the heat that's emanating from the hands. But if you do this slowly and carefully, you'll shift from feeling the heat to actually feeling the energy that's moving between the hands. Energy tends to move through the hands from one hand to the other, but gently moving the hands back and forth, you can bring it in tighter and feel the density of the energy changing. You'll naturally feel the heat increases simultaneously, but that's partly because your attention is now there. Your attention moves energy. Do that right now, Kimberly. Like literally put your hands like that and start doing this slowly. Close the eyes and just feel. And you can keep pulling the hands out further and further and further so that you still actually feel the connection of energy between the two hands. And now it's no longer heat. You're now actually connecting to the energy that's actually there. That's a very simple way that we can give you to begin that process of becoming familiar with the energy. You want to use the mechanism of your body to train your awareness to recognize that it perceives energy. You want to also have your body become familiar with the fact that it works with energy and energy works through it. That's what keeps it alive. Energy keeps your body alive.
She does see energy. Why does she see energy?
Oh, why do you see energy? It's a question I'm being told. Why do you see energy? Because your eyes are changed. There's a perceptual range that we've been conditioned by the environment to think. When you were first born as a child, your range of perception, if you watch little babies, their eyes are moving around like this, and there's this look of wonder on their eyes because they don't differentiate energy patterns or color or the emanation of frequencies and transmission of energy moving. They don't differentiate it. We are trained by the environment to not see that energy, You have somehow bypassed that training. I'd be curious to know what type of energy you actually perceive and how you perceive it. So you've opened up what we would call a condition of clairvoyance, where you're able to see beyond what the eyes see. And yes, there are many people that can actually see the energy field around a hand or the energy field around the body. You look at many of the religious icons and you'll see how they paint around the heads of many of the saints and gods and stuff. There's an energy around them because that actually exists. But your eyes can be trained to only see a certain bandwidth of energy, or you can retrain the eyes to see a broader spectrum of energy, color, frequency, sound. The same with your ears. You can train your ears to hear a wider range of frequency on the physical dimension or a lesser range of frequency. You're just fortunate enough that you don't have those restrictions and you're able to perceive it. The question is, how will you use it? How will you use that? Great questions, both of them. Hi. Hello, Madeline. Hello, Elena. Hello, Drusilla. Question from Bridget. How far along the awakening path have I come? Thank you. He's saying you've come as far as you've come. The question you may want to ask yourself is where do you know that you are right now? How do you see? How do you know? If you're wanting us to identify where you are, that would not be beneficial to you. What would be beneficial to you is, can you close your eyes? Can you still your body? Can you quiet your mind? Can you move into a state of being and feel yourself as what you are, not simply as a body-mind? The level of creation that you can cultivate from the perspective of a physical organism exclusively, believing you were just a body, or believing you're just the information in your mind, the level of creation from those two dimensions has one level of manifestation and potential, but you as awareness have a different level of potential. Each and every one of you came here to learn the function of creation in a physical dimension. You came to learn the function of creation in a physical dimension while learning how to utilize thoughts, memories, emotions, and a body as instruments of creation. So how far along you are is not what you want to concern yourself with. Where are you now? Are you in joy? Are you in love? The further you are from fear, the closer you are to love. The closer you are to love, we would say that's a relative level of progress. The closer you are to love in each moment, the closer you are, or the further you are along the path. Yes, I'm being told also the kingdom of God is here and now. It is not tomorrow. It's not yesterday. It's literally right here, right now. Wow. Thank you for that question, Bridget. Hi, Yolanda. Question from Olena. How to make sure we do not pick up negative energy from the environment? He says, if you don't try to catch it, you will not carry it. Understand that if you give attention to it, it will become a part of your functional life. Removing your fear, your anger, your guilt, your shame, transcending those energies in your mind will liberate you from taking on any of these things. You can only receive that which you're in harmony with. If you learn to change the energy of your mind with the nature and quality of certain thoughts, if you learn to generate electrical emotions that are higher in vibration, that is higher up on a spectrum of love than fear, to that degree and extent, you will not resonate with those energies. You will see them. You will observe people being silly and doing things that they ought not to do, but you will not be caught up in their disturbances, in their illusions. But you can recognize that when somebody is in a state of anger, that they are angry, but you do not find yourself getting caught up in it. It actually becomes quite comical when you realize that the person is just much like a child, stumbling around, still trying to learn certain fundamental things about how to liberate anger from themselves and how to overcome their fears. Wow. Wonderful. Well, guys, I want to thank Archangel Michael for being present with us today. If you want to know more about what we're doing, if you want to know about what we are teaching, then you can go to my website, look at this, the scroll on the bottom of the screen. You can learn a little bit more about what we do and what we're here to help people become awake and aware of. So go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, if you want to learn more about what we're doing in our upcoming courses, which start November the 5th, our new set of courses for the winter session. For those of my patrons that are present, thank you so much for your support, patrons. If you want to become a patron supporter, you can go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. It'll be in the description box below the video. And I want to say much love to you guys. We are in an amazing time. There's going to be a lot of geophysical changes on the planet in the next 6 months. A lot of huge changes geophysically on the planet over the next 6 months. What they keep telling me is it's really important for us to get into a vibrational state of what we truly are, which is love, to raise the human collective unconsciousness so it's predominantly love-based, not fear-based. Right now, they're saying the human collective unconsciousness is predominantly fear-based, not love-based. So there's been an imbalance, which is why we're seeing a lot of the changes that are happening on the planet that are negative are because of that unconscious collectivist energy that we have as a species. And the only way to change it is to become more deliberate and intentional about aligning yourself to a vibrational energy that best approximates your experience of love. That will contribute itself to shifting the human collective unconsciousness. And that's ultimately the function of these beings that are with us right now, is to teach us to return to the process of creating from love and not the process of creating from fear. I want to wish you all much love and have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. And I will see you guys on Monday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. I'm very excited because we're going to have the Galactic Federation of Light with us on Monday. So I hope you'll join us for that, and wish you all, again, much, much love.